We begin with a major developing story we've been tracking all day. A shooting rampage in West Texas. 5 people were killed and 21 others hurt, including 3 police officers. The shooter is identified as a male in his 30s. He was later killed near a movie theater in Odessa, Texas. Police say this all began with a traffic stop between the cities of Midland and Odessa. They say the gunman shot the trooper who stopped him and then went on a shooting spree, firing randomly. At one point, the shooter ditched the car and stole a post office truck. Welcome everyone. Thanks so much for staying up late with us. I'm Tim Pham. One witness captured cell phone video just seconds before police shot the suspect, and we want to warn you, some might find this clip disturbing.
Oh God, they're shooting right there. Oh, he hits the barrier. Get out, get out, get out.
Get out, get out, get out, get out.
Stand still. He's shooting him, he's shooting him.
CBS affiliate KOSA was on the air broadcasting from a local mall when reporters were forced to evacuate during the frantic search for the gunman. New tonight, we're hearing from some of the witnesses who saw the chaotic scene unfold.
So I put my car in park and I jumped out thinking maybe she needed CPR or something. When I had walked up to her, she was already gone. So that's when I started walking to my car, and the people that were huddled, crying, told me to get in my car and go home because there was an active shooter still on the street.
Well, police say they are still looking for a motive. A new report out tonight shows that the West Texas shooting brings the number of mass killings in the U.S. so far this year to 25, which is as many mass killings as in all of 2018. We'll continue to keep you updated on this developing story throughout the night on KREM.com. Now to Hurricane Dorian. The Category 4 storm is set to bring life-threatening storm surges to parts of the Bahamas before threatening Florida and the southeastern U.S. Let's get right to meteorologist Michelle Boss with an explanation and the latest track.
And hurricane warnings are currently in effect for the northwestern Bahamas. Now, we know that with hurricanes, we obviously expect to get destructive winds, flooding rains, even some tornadoes, but we're also hearing about a storm surge. So I'm here to explain exactly what that is. As the hurricane moves through the open ocean, packing winds as Dorian has of 150 miles per hour, those winds are pushing the ocean water ahead of it, and the water kind of piles up ahead of the storm. That doesn't really cause any problems out in the open water, but as the hurricane approaches land, that water has nowhere else to go but onshore. Across parts of the Bahama Islands, forecast of storm surges are anywhere between 10 and 15 feet. So you can imagine how destructive that can be. The height of the storm surge depends on whether the hurricane makes a perpendicular or lands perpendicular to the land, to the coast, or if it's going to hug the coast and move more on a parallel line. But obviously a direct hit is going to cause a higher storm surge. No updates since the last hurricane update at 8 o'clock this evening. Still 150 mile per hour maximum sustained winds. Hurricane Dorian still moving to the west, expected to maintain its strength. Latest hurricane track does not have it hitting Florida directly, but turning towards the north sometime early Monday morning. Obviously, we'll be keeping a close eye on that.
Michelle, thank you. Communities are bracing for the storm. Dorian shut down most major resorts in the Bahamas and forced evacuations on much of the northern shore and low-lying islands today. Any remaining tourists were sent to government shelters in schools, churches, and other buildings. Florida is not expected to see tropical storm force winds until Tuesday or Wednesday, but people are still urged to be prepared. People who live in mobile home parks, low-lying areas and along the beach could see mandatory evacuation orders. Meantime, Floridians are facing fuel shortages already. A number of gas stations up and down Florida's east coast from Jacksonville to Miami have already run out. In an effort to restock supplies, Governor Ron DeSantis ordered highway patrol cars to escort tanker trucks to their destinations. Some even came from outside of state. NASA also moved its mobile launcher to the Kennedy Space Center and now has orders to evacuate most of its staff by tomorrow morning. Florida's governor is urging Floridians to stay vigilant and declared a state of emergency.
There is still significant chance of a strike on the state of Florida. If you look at that cone, anyone inside that cone needs to be prepared.
Well, you have to check out these incredible images. The International Space Station captured footage of the Category 4 hurricane over the Atlantic Ocean this morning. The National Hurricane Center in Miami said maximum sustained winds of Dorian reached 150 miles per hour this afternoon, just slightly less than the wind speed that would make it considered a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. A plane full of weather instruments flew into the eye of the hurricane Friday for a closer look at what could be in store for Florida. Meanwhile, hundreds of flights in and out of Florida have been canceled. Daytona Beach International Airport is planning to stop flight operations tomorrow night, and Orlando International says it will halt flights early on Monday. Back here at home, Montana native Army Sergeant First Class Bryant Sharp was welcome to Coeur d'Alene yesterday with people lined up down Highway 95. It was just earlier this year when Sharp and fellow Green Berets were on a mission in Afghanistan when they were attacked. 2 of Sharp's fellow soldiers were killed in battle. Sharp was shot several times and nearly died in the field. Sharp thanked the community today and said, "My family and I are truly humbled by your unwavering support and patriotism. Your display of community has lifted the spirits of my family and the families of the fallen. I would have never asked for such an event, but I've come to find peace in that this event wasn't just for me or my family. Rather, it was for all of our operators still fighting evil worldwide." Well, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is warning the public that a GoFundMe account claiming to benefit Sergeant Sharp's family is actually a scam. The Sheriff's Office said it received reports about the GoFundMe account set up in Sharp's name, and that Sharp's family advises that they actually didn't set up the account. The family says it appears Sharp's mother's Facebook account was hacked and someone opened the GoFundMe page under her account. All right, we want to toss things over to Karthik Venkatraman. Karthik, the Cougs won tonight and they dominated.
Bro, Anthony Gordon, though, he was amazing. Washington State rolled in week 1 against New Mexico State. And at halftime, Anthony Gordon was 22 of 23 with 330 yards and 4 tutties. Or as Mike Leach would describe him at halftime, he was decent. We want to take you inside the plays right here. Look at this one. Gordon's going to drop this one deep to Roderick Fisher. The way that touchdown was set up, because the safety went for the underneath route, one-on-one coverage, Fisher gets wide open. Right here, Gordon's finding Desmond Patton. Borghi had a great block in the backfield, and Patman uses his speed all the way to the outside to go in for the score. Right here to Aesop Winston. He's going to score a touchdown on this drive. There were penalties for the Cougs. Didn't think they were going to score, but they were able to figure it out. And then right here, Gordon's going to find Travell Harris. Would have been a big gain, but that nice move to make the defender miss, that's all you needed for the Cougs. They ran away big with this one, 58-7. You saw how they did it. Now hear from the team on how they were able to do it. Brenna Green was down at the game tonight. BG, Washington State was just rolling on offense thanks to Anthony Gordon.
Karthik, however impressive Anthony Gordon looked tonight, it was probably even more impressive in person. 29 of 35, 420 yards, 5 touchdowns. Just honestly, an all-out incredible first performance for the quarterback. Anthony, after the game, really excited, walking around smiling. He was in a great mood, understandably, of course. Coach Leach had some pretty high praise for Gordon after the contest.
Kind of crazy, coming here, not playing a lot or anything like that to come to this. I guess, I don't know, rewarding, but, try and keep that all, block that stuff out and just focus on the game.
I thought Gordon started out really well. I thought it was precise as far as a first-time start, and I thought he was as precise as anybody I've ever had, so I thought that part was good.
WSU scored on all 10 of their first 10 possessions this evening. A really incredible mark. They scored every time they were in the end zone. Just an absolute all-out thrashing of New Mexico State here. But what was funny, the team wasn't so happy about the field goals that were scored. That seemed to stick in the heads of both Mike Leach and Anthony Gordon.
For the most part, I thought it was real good. I mean, I don't care for field goals, so you may value that production higher than I do, but I was 100%. I don't think you get better than that, I don't think.
Those 2 field goals bother him a little bit, maybe lose a little sleep, as well as myself. So, it was good. Always getting points on the board is important. It's a that's our job as an offense, is score as many times as we can, and then it's defense job to limit those scores, which they did an awesome job of that tonight. So I don't know, it's pretty cool.
The receiving core tonight was also absolutely masterful. Des Patman, 7 receptions for 103 yards. But the one I want to talk about, Spokane's Roderick Fisher. He had the first touchdown of the entire season for the Cougs. If you know about Roderick's backstory, you know that he was homeless at one point, adopted by the East Valley head coach, and now he's here. He reflected on his journey tonight after the game.
And it's a long off season for a short season, and so for things to work out the way they do and to unfold the way they have, it feels great. So
Roderick talked a lot about about how he has come back from so much and how that prepared him for this moment this evening as well. Just a really incredible night all around here at WSU. Their next game is against Northern Colorado on Saturday at 2 o'clock. That could be an even bigger blowout than this one, since Northern Colorado is an FCS opponent, New Mexico State an FBS school. This could be a season, or at least the first 4 or 5 games of this season, we could see a lot of yards from this team if Gordon keeps having the performances that he had tonight. Reporting in Pullman, I'm Brenna Green, KREM 2 Sports.
Thanks, Brenna. We're moving on to the Indoor Football League. It's alive. The Spokane Shock old Facebook page is active for the first time in 2 years. It's believed the team is making a comeback. We're working on confirming if that's true. Posts on the Facebook page have been of former players and high videos with highlights. In a Facebook comment, the team posted, "Prepare to be shocked." Fans on the page have been mostly excited. It seems the Spokane Shock played in the Lilac City as an AF2 team, which was the Arena Football Developmental League from 2005 to 2009. And then the team was then a part of the Arena Football League from 2010 to 2015. We'll see if it happens. Nothing official from the Facebook page or from the IFL. We'll send it back over to you, Tim.
We'll have to stay tuned. Thanks so much, Karthik.